Some of you don't need body positivity, you need portion control.
SkinnyTok will change the way that you view food.
If you get triggered by SkinnyTok, keep scrolling.
You're hate scrolling on SkinnyTok right now.
Being skinny sends a message.
Do you think that you deserve to be skinny?
She's an influencer that is making $100,000 a month to have a private group chat where she promotes disordered eating.
They're also obsessive too. It's like this little cult of being skinny.
Hello everybody, it is me, Salem, and welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, I don't have nails on. I'm going through it, so just leave me alone. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are feeling fun and fresh and healthy and unlike me, I am still recovering from my concussion. My concussion. This fool got a concussion. If you guys didn't watch my last video, which was on James Likes to Talk to Minors Charles, I highly recommend you guys watch that video in full depth and in all of its glory, if you will.
I'm not physically attracted to older guys, which sucks. Like, I would date like the absolute youngest.
I'm calling the police.
I'm feeling definitely a lot better. As you guys can tell, my left side of my face is no longer paralyzed, so hooray for that. We love that. But y'all, just when I thought that I was feeling better and recovering, the internet somehow made it to where, girl, I feel like I'm getting another concussion. Also, if y'all heard that pop, that was my shoulder. Leave me alone, I'm old. Now, while I have been concussed, I have been taking it upon myself to just really prioritize my mental health and really just take breaks and stay in bed for an entire day and just scroll on TikTok, you know? And while I was doing my daily brain rot, I ran into this TikTok.
You're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. There's something, or you shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut and you're fat.
Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and she's nothing like that. She's nothing of the sort.
Don't play with me right now. First of all, girl, get out of my face. Second of all, you're Latina, disgrace, dishonor on you and your grandma. People who are trying to get healthy and go to health classes are now what? Banned from trying to get healthier and join fitness classes and create community because they don't fit the aesthetic of your Instagram? That is wild, y'all. Girl, is this a recession indicator? It looks like it is, because at this point, everything toxic is coming back, including the obsessiveness culture around skinniness.
Do you think that you deserve to be skinny just because you had one good week of eating?
Some of you don't need body positivity, you need portion control.
Skinny is the outfit. Being skinny sends a message.
Skinny is expensive, it's exclusive.
I've talked about in a lot of my videos how I just feel like body positivity low-key was a scam, like y'all really got scammed. Celebrities and rich people were like, wait, we can't make money off of self-love anymore. Ugh. Rewind it. We need to bring back insecurities, you know? And this has kind of created this massive snowball effect where it has now made this snowman of chin and the carrot on top of this snowman, which is SkinnyTok.
SkinnyTok will change the way that you view food.
If you get triggered by SkinnyTok, keep scrolling.
You're hate scrolling on SkinnyTok right now. You are like this close to making the most life-altering change that you've ever made in your life.
And if y'all aren't chronically online like me, first of all, thank God. But second, I will be chronically online for you guys. That is the sacrifice I am willing to make, even with a concussion and my voice low-key gone. I will always deliver achievement to you guys, okay? Like and subscribe before it's too late. Basically, SkinnyTok is a subculture on TikTok centered around weight loss, thinness, often through curated what I eat in a day videos, talking about the skinny mindset.
If you need some skinny motivation today, I'm gonna be the one to give it to you. Pretend like you have a pool party coming up this week and that your ex is going to be there. Nothing will make you put down the fork faster.
Typically features influencers who have the personality of a piece of bread. Very like, this is what I eat in a day, guys. And this is how to be like in the skinny mindset. And you're welcome to SkinnyTok. Like they're giving very much that, you know? They're talking about gut health. They're talking about getting 9 hours of sleep. They're talking about all these supplements to take in order to be healthier and thinner. Skinny, hence SkinnyTok. Skinny TikTok Y'all got it. Now, a lot of people actually really like this side of TikTok. I know this is actually a really big thing on TikTok. It is literally like a whole subculture in and itself, which a lot of people say it helps them with motivation. It has helped some people get rid of food noise or their obsession with overeating, though I would say that that's better handled by a nutritionist or food therapist, but I digress. Some people believe that it promotes discipline.
Counting calories is not toxic. This type of content is not for you.
I just felt so uncomfortable and unhappy in my body. And then about 2 months ago, I found Liv Schmidt's video. What they are preaching is not disordered. What they are teaching is what we should have been taught from children through our adult lives, and most of us aren't.
However, this would be true if we didn't see stuff like this and this being promoted on SkinnyTok. SkinnyTok looks like a motivational clean girl, girl boss type of space at first glance, but underneath the aesthetic lies a very dangerous mix of bodily obsession, super dumb diet misinformation, such as mangoes supposedly making you fat, or how tomatoes will make you fat. Girl, what? At this point, they're talking about how air is gonna make you fat. Like, can we live? Can we live? There's also just overall very toxic communities on there where people will talk down to each other to supposedly motivate each other to lose weight.
If you need some skinny motivation today, I'm gonna be the one to give it to you. Every time you're eating, pretend like you're sitting next to Bella Hadid. Pretty soon that salad's gonna be looking really good. Cravings? Don't know her.
And the messaging can be deeply harmful, especially to young people already struggling with body image, or people in general who come predisposed to having bodily issues. I have even seen repeated phrases that are deeply problematic that I have seen in the ED Tumblr era, where skinniness was romanticized to an unhealthy point, such as, "Don't reward yourself with food, you're not a dog." In the words of my girl Taylor Swift, "I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending." A lot of stuff culturally is being repeated, if you guys know what I mean. However, it feels very different this time around because people are kind of grabbing the branding of old ED Tumblr and just romanticizing toxic relationship with food and body shaming one another in order to become more skinny, and wrapping it in this like mean girl attitude aesthetic and overlapping it with sparkly filters and aesthetic music choices and labeling it as, "This is just what I eat in a day," or "This is how I look to not bloat," and this and that. And it's slowly trickling down to just being straight up body shaming, toxicity, and crazy advice to the point where there are literally pregnant women now on TikTok on calorie deficits.
What I eat in a day, 16 weeks pregnant, trying to minimize fat gain. Bought some bacon.
As well as skinny TikTok influencers like Liv Schmidt charging money to tell people to restrict their meals and making $130,000 on it. Girl. As well as Pilates instructors apparently now saying that she refuses to have overweight people in her Pilates class. You know, a place where people go to get more healthy. Have we lost the plot? Have we lost the plot?
And I think what's even crazier is the fact that if you try to critique or call out any of these toxic behaviors that are slowly being pushed aside in this community, you get met with so much fury, hatred, and criticism yourself.
SkinnyTok is making me make healthier choices. I feel great, whatever. Those same people will come into my DMs and say the most insane, atrocious, horrible things that I cannot even say in this video because it will get taken down about my body and my appearance.
Amongst this whole skinny girl mindset, the SkinnyTok way, at this point it doesn't even seem like a sub community within TikTok or about health. This at this point is just straight up an online cult. And trust me, as someone who's come from a cult before, yes, me, I've seen the signs and they're pretty similar.
What they're saying is true. We got you. We got you. Because you know that deep down, like, this is the way. This is the way. This is the path. Worth it. It's worth it. Maybe this is your indication. Maybe that's telling you something. You deserve to feel your best. You do.
You're fat. You're fatty.
Doesn't bother me.
Keep eating, fatty.
Grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into today's video. But before we get into the first discussion topic, let's take a breath. After all of this, it sure feels like I could use a detox, and I'm sure you can too. And no, I don't mean celery juice or lemon water or any of this. I'm talking about your skin. Skincare that actually makes sense. That's where Typology comes in. And I'm actually wearing it right now. Ding! Oh, girl, my voice is about to be gone by the end of this video.
Typology is a French skincare brand that has a tinted trio, which is now my new daily go-to. You get that soft glowy look with actual benefits of skincare that looks like makeup. I'm using their tinted serum, which has vitamin C, aloe vera, and squalene, and no, not the marine kind, so it brightens and hydrates while giving that lightweight coverage that lets your skin still look like skin. Follow it up with their concealer, the enriched niacinamide and caffeine, so it helps my under eyes look more alive. And don't get me started on the tinted lip oil. This one's got vitamin E, squalene, and jojoba oil, and it gives my lips that juicy, glossy look without the stickiness, and still gives it a little plump of color. I am using shade Powder Pink, and it's so cute, and it's definitely one of my favorite shades right now. So if you're tired of the 12-step routines and trends that don't actually serve your skin in any way, click the link below to shop the tinted trio. The offer is only live for a week, so don't wait. And get a free purifying mask for orders over $40. Offer available only for a week. Discussion topic 1, the rise of SkinnyTok and how you're not invited, biggie.
If you guys have been around my YouTube channel for a while, first of all, hey, shout out to you guys, love y'all. Then you guys know that I have talked about the body positivity movement for such a long time and kind of how it's a scam. Like, y'all really got scammed. Actually, we all got scammed, let's just be honest. As soon as celebrities and influencers were done making profit off of selling everyone's self-love and Ozempic came around, everyone was like, oh, buy big bags. And all of a sudden we started to see this attitude change where all of a sudden baby tees were back in fashion. Low-rise jeans were back in fashion. There was more conversation surrounding how can I lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, arising more and more in our algorithms. Even your favorite thick celebrities were losing weight. And this is because pop culture and just culture in general tends to be like a pendulum. It kind of swings back and forth into extremes, and I believe the cycle is every 10 years or so, where we went from glorifying, thickness, having big luscious booty, to all of a sudden slowly getting away from that, and we started to see a little bit of the middle of more so skinniness kind of re-entering through fashion and pop culture and trends and viral videos and everything. I want to say around the time I started my YouTube channel, which was around 5 years ago, and now we're kind of seeing the direct opposite in society, where it's just full on body shaming all over again. It's very much gives the same thing that a lot of millennials went through growing up: toxic diet culture and Y2K magazines body shaming people, but almost rebranding with a Gen Z twist. Where's my water? Girl, did I never bring my water? It's fine. Y'all are just gonna have to hear my voice crack like a goose every now and then, ha. Now, I think the turning point for this was definitely Ozempic, and there's nothing wrong with taking Ozempic, if you gotta take it in order to meet your goals, and if you're someone who qualifies health-wise, why not? If you got the money for it, whatever, your body, it's not up to me. You know what I mean? However, Ozempic was kind of taken from people who actually needed it in a health way by celebrities, and they kind of made it kind of like this inaccessible type of classist thing, where it's like, oh, Ozempic used to be this drug for diabetics, and now it's like a power move. Sorry that you can't afford this, biggie. You wish that you could afford this, but you can't. So too bad. Now it's cool to be thin, and it's only cool because you can't afford it, and it separates you guys from us, the rich people. Also, before y'all attack me in the comments about making all these jokes about big bags and all type of stuff, I just want to say the reason why I feel like I talk about this type of stuff a lot is because I used to be be 220 pounds. And since then, I've lost about 60 pounds. And I'm still on a weight loss health journey to this day. So I can speak on how the mindset is of society as someone who has been not only very, very thin in life, but also very, very big. And also, trust me, celebrities are not your friends. Brands are not your friends. And once they saw that self-love and body acceptance and body positivity was getting a little too accessible for the everyday person, they were like, how can I be different? And that's kind of what led to what we see now in society, where thinness is no longer seen as something that people are. It's seen as a lifestyle. And I'm not saying that that's everyone in society. It's mostly some people on subcultures online, such as SkinnyTok.
You think that you deserve to be skinny just because you had one good week of eating? That is wild behavior.
Skinny is expensive. It's exclusive. I don't do low vibe eating ever.
Those types of videos would be definitely a rabbit hole for glorifying restriction and just promoting unhealthy habits in general. And whenever someone would call it out, they were met with being told that they wouldn't say this if it was someone else eating 7,000 calories and if they were big and this and that, which is so strange because I feel like if those types of videos were posted around like 2020, they would definitely get canceled almost immediately. But this is just how the pendulum shifts, and it's so crazy how much social attitudes can change from one year to the next, because now these types of videos are more so being glorified and saved into folders so that people can take it as inspiration for their own health journey and weight loss journey, which again isn't necessarily a bad thing until it actually does get bad.
That if it is striking a nerve, maybe this is your indication. Maybe that's telling you something.
If you get triggered by SkinnyTok, keep scrolling. If you love SkinnyTok and you love the skinny gals have to say, stay and watch.
If you want to be small, you eat small.
Cravings? Don't know her.
Such as someone could be a perfectly normal size, could be mid-sized, showing off their what I eat in a day, and it could be a healthy, normal amount of calories for that person. And yet there's people in the comment section saying that the person who posted the video needs to eat less, they need to lose weight, and that they are big-backed. And for me personally, I feel like once I started to see the big back jokes and people labeling size 8 as being too big,
we should have known things were about to get really weird when skinny white girls were like, I'm so big back after their parents took them out to dinner at like Benihana or something.
That's when I got PTSD flashbacks to when the internet was glorifying restrictive eating and unhealthy habits. And I swear, if you guys are a internet veteran like I am, you guys probably saw all the signs and literally got war flashbacks. And quite frankly, I still think we deserve financial compensation for all that we went through. But I started to see people calling each other big backs for simply like drinking water and eating a burger because they're hungry. I knew we were cooked.
Before y'all hit me with the, oh my god, Liv Schmidt doesn't say anything wrong. Do you guys not remember when she was telling people not to wear blue because it's going to make them look like a whale unless they're like really thin? And I don't know. I'm just not playing this game with you. Obviously, it's negative.
I knew then and there that we were cooked, and so many people who have seen this before happen in online in these communities saw it too. There was also a rise of people asking the internet, guys, am I big or not? Be honest. And then it could be a person who literally is, you know, smaller and thin, and yet people in the comments are like, no sis, you need to you're not even that skinny, like. And I'm confused over here because I'm looking at this person and I'm like, they look thin to me, like, am I just crazy? But are we surprised where out of nowhere there is discussions online about people with perfectly healthy, beautiful, thin bodies, athletic thin bodies, such as Tate McRae, and people calling her too big? Y'all are stressing me the hell out. Calling Tate McRae too big is wild, but this is how extreme a lot of the online beliefs are becoming surrounding the topic of just body image and diet culture and all of this. How toxic it's becoming and how normalized it is to kind of talk about bodies and food like that. You'll find that in this corner of TikTok, it's actually pretty normal for people to call each other big backs. It's pretty normal for people to shame one another for being too big or encouraging one another another to just stop being so obsessed with food, with enabling each other by trying to motivate each other with phrases such as, don't treat yourself to food, you're not a dog, or that growling in your stomach, that's your body applauding you for your weight loss.
This type of content is not for you. Slow down, listen to your body's hunger cues. Sometimes, for us to even know what true hunger feels like, we might have to sit in it in a little bit. If you think that is toxic, you have work to do, and instead you just want to place blame.
Again, I really hope that I'm not the only one that's like thinking too deep into it. To my veteran online girlies out there, does that or does that not sound like low-key old ED Tumblr? It's so insane that it's not only back, but so incredibly normalized. And I'm actually not the only person who feels like SkinnyTok takes things a little way too far at times.
Nothing will make you put down the fork faster. Use delusion as a tool, you guys.
I think unfortunately everyone has kind of noticed that SkinnyTok stopped being about being healthy and it stopped about being, you know, helping each other out with food noise or giving each other tips and tricks, giving each other recipes, motivating one another, being nice to one another, and just being straight up toxic. And one of the biggest spokesperson for SkinnyTok is an influencer by the name of Liv Schmid.
Mindlessly grazing on snacks is giving farm animal, not chic cool girl like babe. It's giving farm animal.
Which I've actually talked about her before on my YouTube channel when I talked about a topic similar to this. And I remember she got a lot of backlash and she disappeared for a while because her content is like SkinnyTok toxicity, but turned up to like in 1,000.
Because some of you need to do a what I don't eat in a day. Babe, by the amount you're eating, it's easier for you to do a what I don't eat in a day.
And for a while, she was actually banned off of TikTok. I'm actually pretty sure that she still is. However, she took her toxicity and her skinniness cult, literally a skinniness cult, and someone literally wrote an article about it. She moved all of her followers and her toxic messaging onto Instagram on a group DM type of thing where people pay to be a part of, which to me, that's crazy. And in this group chat, she encourages people to restrict, to think skinny, and to live like her.
There's an influencer that is making $100,000 a month to have a private group chat where she promotes disordered eating. It's called the Skinny Society private group chat where she's making $100,000 a month.
I was a part of Liv Schmidt's Skinny Society group chat. Let's talk about it. I will not lie to you guys, it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out why so many people did not like Liv Schmidt.
Discussion topic 2. Liv Schmidt, the Skinny Society, and the dangerous, toxic, and harmful secrets they were all keeping.
Liv Schmid is a 22-year-old influencer from New York who gained notoriety on TikTok for promoting extreme weight loss methods and kind of glorifying thinness. At first, a lot of people were kind of on board with her because she would just talk about getting your steps in, trading out soda for water, until she started to say stuff like this that made people think, oh, I don't think this is about just taking 10K steps a day anymore.
A lot of you guys don't know what you're talking about when you're talking about Liv Schmidt, because I was here a year and a half ago when she first started on TikTok before the ban, okay? Has like watered down her content to make more money, obviously. Obviously, she did it to get permanently banned off the app twice, 2 different accounts, and screenshotted what she was saying in her group chats and like leaked it on TikTok. And it was like, if you're hungry, just like give your man a.
I have the worst fear of becoming fat or being fat.
Her content kind of slowly shifted into what I eat in a day videos and skinny girl essentials, which was heavily criticized for encouraging kind of restrictive and disordered eating behaviors, particularly among young women, as well as spreading really misinformed dieting advice such as tomatoes making you fat.
Tomatoes are making you fat. You need to cut that out.
Which I'm like, I get. Like, damn, so well, we can't eat fruits and vegetables now? What are we supposed to eat? Like, at this point, I'm convinced some of y'all are just wanting some of us to chew on a stick for nutrition. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Despite not being a certified health professional, she actually amassed over 600,000 followers before her account was actually banned by TikTok for violating community guidelines relating to promoting harmful weight loss practices.
Also, especially because she would straight up cyberbully and body shame people of bigger sizes, comparing people to cows, whales, farm animals, making fun of women who are naturally thicker, and so much more that honestly is very hard to find now because she has basically scrubbed her past almost completely clean, but not quite.
Liv Schmidt kind of represents the toxic side of SkinnyTok. There are a lot of people on SkinnyTok who say, bring back my girl Liv Schmidt, like, y'all just mad because she's skinnier than you. Or, I love Liv Schmidt, like, she for real helped me. Y'all, how about you seek help from a counselor or something? Thank you. Thank you. And because of that, Liv Schmidt actually went onto another platform to promote her very toxic beliefs. She ran a subscription-based Instagram called the Skinny Society. I'm sorry. It's not funny. I mean, it kind of is funny, but only because it's like, there's no way that this is real. Like, I genuinely feel like this is an Office episode. This literally seems like something Kelly Kapoor would come up with. No joke.
A lot of tapeworm last night. It's going to grow up to 3 feet inside of me, and then it eats all my food so that I don't get fat.
Where members reportedly shared their restrictive dieting tips and competed over weight loss, fostering a toxic environment reminiscent of pro-disordered eating communities, which is so crazy. Health journeys should never be a competition. It's such a personal journey, and it's actually scientifically proven that weight loss is better done slowly to avoid any health complications. And knowing that not only people were competitive in this group chat, but knowing that the majority of people in this group chat were high school girls is honestly so disgusting. But what's even more disgusting is that Liv Schmidt was able to get so many people in this Skinny Society group that she ended up making over $130,000.
There's an influencer that is making $100,000 a month to have a private group chat where she promotes disordered eating called the Skinny Society.
The article talks about how Liv Schmidt says the group is for 18 and up, but there was no real age verification. She found more than a dozen people who were in high school, one who was a freshman in high school, and people in the groups knew about it because someone also posted, like, I'm graduating high school today, and they're like, you're gonna be the skinniest one at graduation.
Again, I understand if you want to join a group for weight loss, for health and everything, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but it's starting to get into weird territory when you have to pay for that advice, especially to join a group where they're body shaming one another and also encouraging you to lose so much weight in order to fit into toddler clothing, which is exactly what was happening in this group chat.
Other former members said it feels like everyone is enabling each other's eating. It was extremely competitive in the sub chats of this group. Who could eat less, who weighed less, who was living the most skinny lifestyle.
Because of Liv Schmidt's toxic tactics that she was teaching all these people in these group chats, Meta completely demonetized her entire platform, which thank God, but I mean, it doesn't really make a difference because she already kind of made like a crap load of money from this. And now there are former members from her group chat and the Skinny Society coming out and talking about their experience in these group chats. A TikTok user by the name of Sage Fairies actually came out to talk about her story and experience within these group chats. And honestly, y'all, I'm gonna let it play. Go and support her because this is honestly crazy. And I wish her all the healing after experiencing this.
I was a part of Liv Schmidt's Skinny Society group chat. Let's talk about it. I will not lie to you guys, it took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out why so many people did not like Liv Schmidt. I started following her about a year ago, and at the time that I followed her, all of the stuff that I was seeing from her was, in my opinion, genuinely good advice. Basically, the message that she was pushing was that it's okay to want to be skinny. You just need to do it in a healthy way and you can't obsess over it. Like, just get 10K steps a day and control your portions. I was subscribed to Liv for about a month. And that lasted until I saw a post of hers that absolutely made my jaw drop. This post was unlike anything I had seen her post before. It was literally something straight out of 2014 ED Tumblr. I have it on my computer for you guys because TikTok isn't letting us use green screen anymore. But this is the post. I screenshotted it. It's still up on her Instagram and I'm gonna read it to you. Why I don't eat like a tourist. I'm not here to try the food. I'm here to look sculpted on the beach. TripAdvisor says pasta. I say lemon water and silence. My memories don't come from meals, they come from how flat my stomach was. Bloated in a bikini for a local plate? Absolutely not. Aside from that being one of the corniest, cringiest things I have ever read,
Holy shit, you guys. That post completely woke me up. It broke me free of the SkinnyTok chains. It reminded me of something that I saw another anti-SkinnyTok creator say on this app. She basically said that the reason why a lot of these women are so obsessed with being skinny is because they have no internal sense of confidence. The only reason why women like Liv Schmidt feel good about themselves is because they are skinny and pretty. And that's why they become so obsessed with being skinny and pretty, because they know that if they lose that, their identity would crumble. And this is exactly how work, okay? I have been in that mindset where my number one goal in life was to be skinny, and I felt like if I wasn't skinny, then my life would be over. The post that I just read to you is exactly how somebody with an eating disorder thinks, and at this point, I honestly just feel bad for her, because it is such a miserable existence that you will start thinking that like that sounds good and sounds smart, because if I read that when I was in high school, it would have become like my life's motto. And if you still support Liv Schmidt and think that what she's doing is healthy after hearing that, I'm sorry, but you're beyond help, and I feel really bad for you.
And if you call it out, you're told that you just don't get it. Again, it's giving very much cult vibes. And as someone who has literally been part of a cult, it's giving cult vibes. In general, there tends to be this overall mean girl attitude within SkinnyTok, where if you don't understand it, then you're just lazy. And if you don't understand and if you critique it, then you're just a person that wants them to remain bigger or big-backed. It's almost become like this thing where thinness and health is being gatekept by them. So much to the point where there has literally been a Pilates instructor who was also part of SkinnyTok, who made a TikTok basically saying that she is uncomfortable with overweight people going to the gym and signing up for Pilates, and how basically people who are 200 pounds don't belong there.
If you're 200 pounds, you shouldn't be in a Pilates class. There's no reason why they should allow 200-pound people in a level 2 class. There's something, or you shouldn't be allowed to be a Pilates instructor if you have a gut and you're fat.
This is crazy. When are people going to realize that you don't have to be thin in order to be considered healthy? Some people have extra muscle on them. Some people are taller, therefore distribute weight differently within their bodies. Some people are shorter and might be heavier, again, because of their weight distribution according to height, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're unhealthy. So if my Pilates instructor has a gut or more muscle on them or is heavier, I'm not going to question that as someone who is there to just simply move my body. Not only that, but this is the exact reason as to why so many people who are bigger or want to go on a health journey or a weight loss journey avoid classes like Pilates or avoid the gym, therefore avoiding moving their bodies, which is good for them, because of people like this. People on SkinnyTok really like to talk about how
the only reason why the internet is mad at us is because they want to glorify obesity, and they're defending obesity, and they want us to stay obese.
That's not what it is at all. The problem is thinking like this, where health is being gatekept and put into a standard where if you're not already skinny, then you're not allowed to partake in what we view as good or healthy. And when we start to get into this, this layer of whatever this is, where people are literally saying that we should exclude people with bigger bodies from being active and being healthy, defeats the whole reason why there's a SkinnyTok in the first place. You guys know what I mean? You guys want people to be skinny. You guys want people to be healthier. You guys want to help out people to have more healthier habits and stuff, yet they're not allowed to move their bodies in a Pilates class without being judged or ruining your Instagram videos aesthetic. Like, girl, make it make sense. And of course, this Pilates instructor came out with an apology video. Let's watch, shall we?
Hey guys, I wanted to come on here and just formally apologize for my last few videos. They were nasty, and I think the reason why I posted them was because I think there are some insecurities in me and some self-hate or something. I've learned that I can't let those things take over, because it's not okay and it's just not pretty and it's nasty. I just wanted to formally apologize and say I'm so sorry if I hurt your feelings.
Not if I hurt your feelings.
And I need to go to church.
They always like to drag Jesus into this. Leave my man's Jesus alone. He doesn't need to be dragged. Okay, he already has enough on his plate. Okay, leave Jesus out of this.
I hope y'all can forgive me and just get over a nasty post. I deleted it, obviously, like...
Now I hope y'all can get over it. Can y'all get over it so I can get my job back, please, guys? Can y'all get over it so I can go back onto SkinnyTok and body shame people? Oh, that's literally what it's giving. That's literally what it's giving. Ew. I need to get my nails done.
I don't think it's okay for it to be roaming around and spread negativity. I don't know. Anyway.
Girl, you don't feel bad. You feel bad because you got caught and there's consequences to your actions. Point blank period. Girl, let me pull an Ariel right now because I cannot. Anyways, it's crazy because that video is still very much giving mean girl energy. Somehow, I don't know how you can make an apology sound more mean girl-ish than the actual mean girl video, but somehow she accomplished that. And also the fact that she's Latina is so embarrassing. So on behalf of all Latinas out there, as a fellow Latina, mi gente Latino, I just want to apologize because that's absolutely ridiculous. Our culture is nothing but good vibes and good food, keyword food. And I mean, low-key, our culture has hella body shaming, so I'm not surprised. But I'm trying to be over here, be a generational curse breaker. And it's always so upsetting to see another fellow Latina kind of perpetuate that toxicity from our culture. So I'm very sorry, y'all. But you know what I ain't sorry for? The fact that she got fired. I think it's so crazy that some people can be instructors or fitness coaches and stuff and have this type of thinking. I think it's different when you purposely seek out this type of coaching, fitness coach and health coach who's a little bit more, you know, hard with you, who's a little bit more stern. I know there's even some fitness coaches so like that who like yell at you to go harder when you're working out. Me personally, I would cry or I would throw hands. So I can't be doing all that. But I am someone who goes to Pilates a lot, and a lot of my instructors are very sweet because it's a general class and no one's really going there to get yelled at unless you purposely try to look for a Pilates instructor who's more of the mean person side, which I personally think is very rare to find. But in general, a general kind of health coach or trainer is not going to view you that way or talk to you that way because a lot of them themselves have gone through the shaming of society of, you know, transforming their bodies from something that they didn't like or society didn't like to something that was, you know, satisfying to them or satisfying to society. And knowing the amount of hard work and motivation that's put, you know, into that in order to achieve that goal, they have sympathy and empathy for it. And if you don't have sympathy and empathy as a health coach or a fitness trainer, you really shouldn't be doing the job. Or if you are one of those health coaches who like to yell at people or, you know, that's how people feel more motivated to exercise, then make it very clear that that's the type of gig you're into. But what I don't like is that SkinnyTok makes it so people like this feel safe enough to say stuff like that, even though it absolutely isn't okay.
SkinnyTok thing is even worse than we thought. Every single time I post a video about it and it blows up, half of my comments are like, oh, Liv Schmidt helped me heal my relationship to food. SkinnyTok is making me make healthier choices. I feel great, whatever. Those same people will come into my DMs and say the most insane, atrocious, horrible things that I cannot even say in this video because it will get taken down about my body and my appearance.
What they're saying is true. We got you. We got you. Because you know that deep down, like, this is the way. This is the way. This is the path. Worth it. It's worth it. Maybe this is your indication. Maybe that's telling you something. You deserve to feel your best. You do.
It's expensive. It's exclusive.
Final discussion topic: the SkinnyTok cult. Now, for you guys who have been watching me for a very long time, you guys know that I have been very open and honest and very transparent about my upbringing, which was in a Pentecostal church cult who would dictate what we wore, how we expressed ourselves, and were shamed if we were not conforming to the rules. I quickly learned how to see the tall tale signs of when something is mirroring a cult. And after deep diving into this realm of SkinnyTok and trying to unveil their secrets, secret group chats, their secret slang and everything, I can very strongly say that this is a small cult in the making, or at least mirroring one. So much so that The Cut actually made a whole article about this, with one of the members who are part of the Secret Skinny Society group chats saying, and I quote, "It's like this little cult of being skinny." Now, if you guys aren't familiar, there's actually 8 characteristics that make up a cult, and this could be mostly surrounding anything. When you first dive into the realm of SkinnyTok, I think it's pretty obvious that the main leaders are people like Liv Schmid, if not Liv Schmid. Liv Schmid promotes ultra-thin bodies, preaches discipline, preaches self-control, and overall preaches the goal of being thin. She's essentially become the main idol for this movement.
Skinny is expensive. It's exclusive. My energy is luxury level. My habits are high value. Only the best make the cuts. I don't do low vibe eating ever.
Cults often have a leader who has an idea that the followers idolize and obey without question. Very often, these charismatic or powerful ideological leaders come off as very put together and clean, like they just have something that you don't, which draws a lot of desperate people or weak-minded people towards them, having their hearts and minds open to whatever it is that they say. This leads to this thinking of what makes this leader so different and what makes their followers so different, developing, which is basically step 2 of a cult, which is the us versus them mentality.
Counting calories is not toxic. This type of content is not for you.
Going on to SkinnyTok, you'll see right away that when you disagree with anyone on SkinnyTok, they will tell you that you just don't get it, that it's just simply not for you, that you're trying to bring them down, that you're in their way, which many people in cults have this type of thinking because it keeps them obedient to the leader. Whenever they have questions or there is something that the leader does that sparks some sort of concern, they're not really allowed to talk about it, or else they're seen as challenging the views, and how dare you challenge the views? But also, why would you challenge the views? Because it's us versus them, remember? And we're better than them. Being skinny is so much better than being fat, lazy, undesirable, and out of control. You're just not disciplined enough to be a part of our group, which is why whenever someone does speak out against SkinnyTok or the people's mindset within these group chats and this type of content, they get very upset and even attack the people, creating this boundary of us versus them. Essentially, the goal is for them to be isolated, which is step number 3.
And number 3, if you're eating like you're having your last meal every single time, don't be surprised if you don't have abs.
Isolation through algorithmic echo chambers. Now, usually cults have some sort of doctrine, scripture, or some sort of idol or totem that they worship or go to for guidance. But not only for guidance, but for reinforcement, to make sure that what they are indulging in is the correct ideology. TikTok's algorithm keeps users in a very tightly curated space where they only see similar reinforcing content. And even doing my research for this video, my For You page in less than, and I'm not joking, in less than 10 minutes were bombarded with all types of SkinnyTok content, and every single person was saying the same thing. Just take 15k steps a day. Stop eating so much. And they actively discourage any other message that goes against their message. So they're very anti-body positivity.
And if you're sensitive, keep scrolling. I'm gonna give you some tough love, so buckle up. Number 1, some of you don't need body positivity, you need portion control.
And usually the thing that follows up reinforcement is the 4th thing, which is rituals, such as what I eat in a day, calorie countings, daily weigh-ins, challenging each other in these group chats of who can take the most steps, often masqueraded as healthy or glow-up tips or just girl bossing, all shown as normal and essential in order to be a part of this group, when in reality it's anything but. And if you don't do this, then it leads to the 5th step, which is fear, shame, and guilt.
I have the worst fear of becoming fat or being fat.
People are bombarded with fear. Fear of weight gain, fear of being average, fear of being left out of the group's glow up. Fear, shame, and guilt are often used in cults because they are a very good way of keeping people not only sedated but also obedient, and it feeds them to keep continuing to enact on these rituals and behaviors and the othering of other people in order for them to feel like they are closer and closer to the group and even closer to the leader, or just like the leader. And one of the biggest motivators as to why people go this deep into these cult-like groups is because there is a false promise of transformation, which is the 6th step.
You will get skinny. If you don't, well, then don't complain when nothing changes.
SkinnyTok presents thinness as this gateway to love, success, confidence, divine femininity, social status, jealousy, revenge. The underlying message is, if you just lose weight, everything will fall into place. I mean, look at Liv Schmidt. She even said you could have 99 problems, but being skinny solves 98 of them. And this isn't to say that this isn't obtainable, but very often cults will preach that the only way to obtain this type of status is through their very specific mantras, phrases, methods, and rituals, which SkinnyTok checks off every single one, creating almost like this parrot-like group type thinking, which is the 7th step. There's no debate ever. Users often repeat the same mantras such as nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, summer bodies, that girl energy. Contrarians are often mocked or gaslit. Even when you are part of the group, you're still not good enough, such as Liv Schmidt saying that another SkinnyTok creator named Mina shouldn't be allowed in the group because she's mid-sized and isn't skinny enough, as well as encouraging people to involve themselves in group thinking practices and rituals such as pretending, coming up with imaginary scenarios where you can flaunt your thinness as motivation to become more thin. And very often when you scroll through SkinnyTok, no one really adds anything new to the conversation other than how much they love Liv Schmidt, how much Liv Schmidt saved their lives, how much SkinnyTok saved their lives, how you just need to drink water, take a bunch of steps, and honestly, nothing new. There is no other new information because this has officially become a group thinking echo chamber.
What's interesting to me about SkinnyTok isn't the information they're saying. Yeah, a lot of it is psychotic, but a lot of it is common sense, I fear. Like, yes, taking 30,000 steps a day is going to make you lose weight because it's going to put you in a calorie deficit, duh. My problem is SkinnyTok is obsessed with being skinny because I fear they have nothing else going for themselves.
And because there are so many people who are part of this SkinnyTok cult and believe truly that SkinnyTok has completely transformed their lives, they want to get the message out. They want to, step 8, recruit. People post dramatic before and afters, triggering envy and self-loathing in viewers, even triggering bad feelings on women who just had babies, telling them, if you feel guilty, it's because this is your sign to join us. We have the answers. We always had the answers. You're just too dumb to notice that we have the answers. And if you get mad at us, it's because you actually truly want to be us. Do you not realize that?
And then about 2 months ago, I found Liv Schmidt's video. What they are preaching is not disordered.
If you're hate scrolling on SkinnyTok right now, you are like this close to making the most life-altering change that you've ever made in your life. I would watch, get a little bit annoyed at what she was saying, but like deep down knew that what she was saying was so fucking true. All this to say that if it is striking a nerve, maybe this is your indication. Maybe that's telling you something.
I feel like a lot of people might have the wrong perception of modern day cults. People still think that they're lost in the woods wearing all white. Any cult can be formed online with these 8 steps within one platform. And that's just so scary to think about. It's even scarier to think that SkinnyTok is checking every single box. In the beginning of this video, I made a joke about, is this a recession indicator? But honestly, also not joking, because when it comes to the recession, this type of thinking tends to arise. Cults and recessions are more connected than most people realize. In times of economic and social instability, cults and cult-like ideologies are often get really big because people are very vulnerable, disorientated, and they're searching for meaning or some sort of control. Recessions don't just shake the economy, they shake identity, and when identities crumble, cults step in to offer answers, even if those answers are very dangerous. And depending on that identity, they enforce who gets to be seen as beautiful, worthy, desirable, and perfect. However, when you look at it through a historical lens, it really does reinforce elitism, conservatism, and as well as white classism. Going through SkinnyTok, there aren't many people of color in it. If anything, I have seen more people of color calling out this side of TikTok.
I hate SkinnyTok. Let me tell you why. I'm already on a calorie deficit, right? Okay, I understand the sentiment. I'm trying to be smaller than a speck of dust by the summertime. However, since I am already on a calorie deficit, you cannot come around me talking to me crazy on my phone. These girls who damn near have eating disorders and don't like food anyways have been making a killing off of calling y'all fat cows. And you will not get a single like out of me talking to me nasty. Call me a fat cow. Don't reward yourself with food. You're not a dog. Shut up.
Whiteness is often framed as the default, as the beautiful, the pure, the safe. And on SkinnyTok, the ideal body tends to be thin, clean, delicate, and very much tied to Eurocentric beauty norms. People tend to cling to old ideals that feel safe and controlled, and that often means returning to racially coded beauty standards, which is why you also don't see a lot of people of color in this community. It also reinforces a lot of classism. SkinnyTok tells people that success and self-worth come from discipline, not money, but that's literally not true. This is a lifestyle that's incredibly privileged and rich.
It girl skinny is expensive. It's exclusive.
You have to be that girl in the clean aesthetic lifestyle, which requires time, money, and access to privilege, expensive matcha, gym memberships, designer wellness routines. I don't think that's accessible to anyone who lives outside of LA or has the money to afford that stuff. And then SkinnyTok has the audacity to blame individuals if you can't afford or you don't have that time to obtain these materials. They say just work harder, eat less, wake up earlier, it's not that big of a deal. Or aka, you can't afford healthcare, groceries, or time to rest. And cults often flourish by telling poor people that their suffering is a moral failure, not a systemic one. And the worst part is that they're trying to sell all of this as if it's something that has been rebuilt to be better. This is a better version. We are offering better answers, even though this is literally just mimicking ED Tumblr, literally all over again. We are just seeing in front of our eyeballs how people are retreating into the same hierarchies, standards that broke them to begin with, and then they're rephrasing it as we're healing and taking back our power. Girl, bye. Some of you guys might think I'm being dramatic. Some of you guys might think that I'm doing too much and everything, but this is what happens every single year. Someone tells you guys that something is repeating, things are coming back, and it's gonna lead to something bad. And then y'all are like, that won't happen. Then when something bad happens, you guys are like, oh no, man, get your... Look, SkinnyTok isn't just about low-cal meals and iced matcha. At this point, it's deadass a cult. TikTok is handing us the solution to the world on fire by handing us cucumber water and calorie-restricted meal plans and a Pilates mat. And you know what, guys? At least we'll be thin at the end of the apocalypse.
If you're too sensitive for this video, then scroll past. This page is for people who are not afraid of a little hard work and a little harsh truth to get to where they want to be. You are not missing out by not eating certain foods. People that want to keep you average will just say, oh, just eat the food, just eat it, just live a little. Feeling confident, clear, and in control is living. You are not missing out, you're leveling up. You're not depriving yourself, you're becoming yourself.
You're probably wondering, after all of this expose, conversation, and even Liv Schmidt being banned up to 3 times on different platforms and being demonetized on Instagram from these group chats that she was profiting off of, you think that maybe this is the end of SkinnyTok, but you would be very, very wrong.
So the rebrand is on. Hot and Healthy is what we're calling it now. Skinny Girl Millionaire Christina kind of led the charge on the rebrand. I'm here for it. Hot and healthy is what we were going for anyways. It's what we were talking about anyways.
Some people can't handle the S words. We won't be saying that anymore. My content will still be the same, still promoting the same thing. Being healthy, being hot.
Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it to the end of the video, comment down a duck emoji down below so I know that you guys watched the entire thing. And if you did, here's an internet hug. Bring it in, brother or sister or other. Remember to like and subscribe, y'all. If you guys can get people like James Charles to 1 million, you can definitely get me to 1 million. So make sure to subscribe, and once you subscribe, press that notification bell by my username so you guys get notified whenever I upload videos like this every other Sunday. Or starting maybe next month, I actually have been wanting to make members only videos on Sundays, maybe with me doing my makeup and talking about story times I never talked about, or I might post them on my channel. You guys let me know what you would want to see. Now, if you comment below, y'all, keep it cute, keep it cordial, okay? You are entitled to your opinion, but definitely not a hurtful opinion. This is my platform and I refuse to get bullied on it. So that's on that. Make sure to follow me on my podcast, the Salem Tovar podcast, on Apple Music, on Spotify. Give me a good rating. I would very much appreciate that. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at _Salem Tovar_ to see me post behind the scenes content to my videos, and also help me decide to make what topic to talk about that week. And y'all, you guys know before every video I give you guys homework, and your homework for this week is, girl, just love yourself. I know it's so much easier said than done, but I will be here rooting for you. Alright guys, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.